What if I told you that reality is not what we think it is? That the universe itself has been hiding a secret pattern right in front of our eyes. A pattern so fundamental that it ties everything together, from the tiniest particles to the largest galaxies, from quantum mechanics to the farthest reaches of the cosmos, and even the very nature of consciousness itself. Sounds wild, right? But that's exactly what my equation suggests. Let me take you on a journey through the radical new ideas it offers about the nature of reality. You won't look at the world the same way again. Reality doesn't just curve, it scales. You've probably heard that space-time curves around massive objects, right? Well, hold on to your seat, because this is where it gets exciting. My hypothesis shows that the curvature of space-time isn't just about mass or energy. Nope. It's also about scale. That means reality doesn't just bend around planets and stars. It actually scales up and down as we zoom in or out. Imagine space-time warping differently depending on how big or small you're looking. That's a complete game changer. This could be the missing link that connects the rules of quantum mechanics, the tiny world of particles, with the rules of general relativity, the cosmic world of stars and galaxies, and where we are in our everyday lives. We've been thinking too small. Reality is more flexible, more dynamic. It scales in ways we've never imagined. The universe has a hidden code, and it's fractal. Now here's where things get really mind-blowing. You've probably heard of fractals, those crazy beautiful patterns that repeat themselves at every scale, like in seashells or snowflakes. But what if I told you that fractals are not just cool visuals, they are the fundamental law of the universe? That's right. My equation suggests that reality itself is fractal, governed by a repeating self-similar pattern that stretches across all levels of existence. From the smallest particles to the largest structures, everything is part of the same cosmic fractal. But this isn't just a neat design feature. This fractal law could be the glue that binds together all the laws of physics. Gravity, electromagnetism, quantum mechanics, they're all just different expressions of the same underlying fractal structure. In other words, fractals are the blueprint of reality, and they're what unify everything in the universe into one cohesive, interconnected system. Fractals are the glue for a unified theory of everything. For years, physicists have been searching for the theory of everything, the idea that one single theory could explain everything about the universe. My hypothesis suggests that fractals might be the key to cracking this code. Think about it. If the universe follows a fractal pattern, then all the forces we know, gravity, quantum mechanics, electromagnetism, are just different parts of the same fractal structure. This could be the ultimate unifying principle, bridging the gap between the large-scale structures of the universe, general relativity, and the tiny quantum world, quantum mechanics. We no longer need to think of these forces as separate. They're just different pieces of the same cosmic puzzle. Reality operates on recursion, the code of the universe. But it gets even crazier. What if I told you that this fractal law doesn't just explain the structure of the universe, but also it's a code? My equation suggests that recursion, The idea that patterns repeat within patterns is just the underlying code of reality itself. Just like a computer program that loops over and over, reality is built on repeating processes that span across all scales, from the microscopic to the cosmic. This recursive structure of reality doesn't just explain the universe, it could explain everything. Life, consciousness, the very fabric of existence. Everything follows the same fractal code, looping and repeating itself across all scales. Consciousness is built into the universe's fractal structure. And now for the truly radical part. What if consciousness itself is part of this fractal law? What if we, our minds, our thoughts, our very existence, are part of this grand fractal structure? Imagine consciousness not as some random byproduct of evolution, but as a fundamental aspect of the universe, just as important as gravity or time. My hypothesis suggests that consciousness is woven into the very fabric of reality, repeating and scaling just like everything else in the universe. This could mean that life and consciousness are not anomalies. They are natural, inevitable outcomes of the fractal code that governs everything. The genetic code of reality, fractals as the DNA of the universe. Here's the kicker. This fractal structure might be the genetic code of the universe. Just as DNA is the code for building life, fractals could be the code for building reality. My equation suggests that the universe follows a blueprint, a fractal DNA that replicates across all scales, from the smallest particles to the largest galaxies. This changes everything. We're no longer looking at a universe that's random or chaotic. Instead, everything is connected, guided by this cosmic fractal DNA that repeats and scales across all of reality, from the patterns in the stars to the neurons in your brain. Everything reflects the same underlying code. A new paradigm, unity through fractal diversity. Finally, my hypothesis isn't just about physics. It's about a new way of seeing the world. We live in a universe that's connected at every level, where the smallest particles and the largest galaxies are part of the same system. This means that everything, science, life, consciousness, is unified through this fractal law. We're not just isolated individuals or separate pieces of matter. We're part of an infinitely interconnected system, reflecting the same patterns across all scales. This offers a radical new perspective on unity through diversity. Unity through diversity. Unity through diversity. We often see the universe as divided. Quantum mechanics versus general relativity. Mind versus matter. Big versus small. Liberal versus conservative. Right versus left. Good versus evil. But what if they're not separate? What if these are just different expressions of the same underlying fractal structure, uniting everything into one beautiful, cohesive whole? In conclusion, reality is far more radical than we ever imagined. So here's the radical idea. Reality isn't what we thought. It scales. It curves. It repeats. It's fractal. And this fractal law might just be the secret glue that holds everything together, from the particles in our bodies to the stars in the sky, the laws of physics, the structure of the universe, and even consciousness itself might all be expressions of the same underlying fractal code. This is the new frontier of understanding our universe. The equation I'm proposing is just the beginning. It opens the door to an entirely new way of thinking about existence, one that's beautiful, interconnected, and deeply, fundamentally fractal.